What's good to YouTube? Buzo Builds back again. I know it's been a while since I've recorded. I've just been on that grind and stuff. Well, apparently not on this grind, but on some grind. So let's get back to making our Tic Tac Toe game. So at the moment, we got some code on the screen and it's doing some stuff. We run the code and we get this grid, this window, this hashtag. Even though it's not slanted, but yeah. And that's all cool and dandy, but that's not even tic-tac-toe. Like, honestly, if I needed something, if I just needed like a picture of a window, I could have just drawn it. In order to represent the actual grid of the tic-tac-toe game, I want to make a 2D array. At the moment, we don't have anything that kind of holds the values in a way that represents the positions. All we have is just lines that are drawn in pixels. Like, the program doesn't have any concept of a grid, a tic-tac-toe grid. So for that, we're going to make this 2D array. If I remember how to make it. Yeah, I think I remember how to make it. String. Oh yeah, we're gonna make it hold strings. Because yeah, equals. Actually, we just leave it as. Well, you can instantiate it now, or you can instantiate it later. I'm gonna just keep up with this. Okay, I'll just keep up with the spirit. And okay, fine. It doesn't really matter. It's just sometimes I'm picky. Anyways, we already know what size we want the grid to be. You want it to be a 3x3 because normal people play tic-tac-toe. Oops, it's supposed to be string. Normal people play tic-tac-toe. They play on a 3x3 board. So yeah, that's the first step. So now we made the grid, we want to basically make our game detect where the mouse is because we want to collect input from the player. So we want to make our game detect where the mouse is when he clicks. So we want to know, okay, like depending on where it is, dictates where the actual character is going to be put on. Little marker, whatever you call it, is going to be put in, like which part of the grid it's going to be. So in order to do that, the way Java handles input, I already talked about the EDT. So basically there's another thread that's basically just kind of on loop waiting for input from like the keyboard or a mouse or whatever. And those are the inputs are basically represented as events. And there's different event sources that are in Java. Generally when you're dealing with the graphic, what's the right word? I'm kind of lost for words in this video. Like GUI applications, basically. Ooh, my phone just went ring-a-ding-a-ding, like on my pocket. Anyways, but for like GUI applications. So at the moment we have like when you play this, I want it boots up. So at the moment we have like two main GUI applications. GUI objects or components. It's been a break, y'all. Give me a break. But so first we have this window and stuff, and we have this display. So they both basically have the ability to. I'm in the library and I'm recording. I hope I'm not speaking too loud. They're gonna kick me out. But they both have the ability to send out event sources to the mouse. So what we want to do is be like, okay, well, first of all, we want this game JFrame. We want it to implement mouse listener. And what you mean? Oh, implement, okay, not that either. What you mean error, bro? Anyways, what a mouse listener is basically, we're telling the object that we want you to be something that listens for mouse events. So as I mentioned, there's event sources, and there's also like their counterpart is like event listeners. So event listeners basically listen for the event sources. They're like, ooh, event. It's kind of like when a girl walks into class and all the guys like, ooh, girly girl. Or at least that's me. But that's basically what a mouse listener is. It's just like, it's waiting for a girl to walk into class. So basically, these interfaces have certain methods that kind of dictate what these things should do when they hear when they get a source. So at the moment, I'm just gonna add the unimplemented methods. So this is it. It's like, what do you want to do when we get a mouse click source, mouse pressed, yada yada yada. So that's all cool and dandy, but even before we even implement those methods, we have to tell the event source that there's a listener, that there's somebody who cares about his problems, his sources, his events. So as I mentioned before, there's two GUI components. What we want to use is actually, instead of using the window, we want to use display, because we actually want to get the coordinates of the mouse where it is on the display, because it's really over here that you're going to be playing on, not here. I guess you could do the window, but it would be easier for our purposes to do the display. So you want to say, oh, this is still a parse setup. Let me comment this. Let me call this setup, right? And then let me call this one. Call that later anyway. So we want to say game. My bad, yo, I'm lost today, and I feel like crying. But game.display to get the display component object. Add mouse listener. Yep. And then it's game. Game is the mouse listener, because that's the class we just said it was. So yeah. Also, while we're at it, before we continue any further, I want to make an integer array called input, and new int. So basically the purpose of this new array is that anytime the user puts in input, right, the EDT is like running, this other thread is running, it's like, ooh, mouse click on something, and then the EDT runs this thread. And while that EDT is running, we're actually going to put all threads to sleep, so we can wait, like the main thread to sleep, so we can wait for input. So once the EDT is like, ooh, click happened, click, it's going to put the information about the click into that 2D array, and then we're going to wake up our main thread, and we're going to make it be like, okay, we got this. This is where the player clicked. Do something about that. So that's basically the plan. Alright, so yeah, now we got the mouse listener function set up. We basically want to store that input that I mentioned before. So the mouse event that we really care about is when the player has clicked, right? So when the player has clicked things. Anyways, what is the name of the input? Yeah, wow. What a genius name, input. So anyways, we want input 0 to equal e dot. Basically, e is the event, and the event basically has information about itself. So we want to get x, right? So we want to know might be input 1 equals e dot. What is get y x on screen? Oh no, I just care about the source components, and that's what we're doing on display. So yeah, so this basically gives us the coordinates of where the mouse was clicked. That's relative to the display. So we can save that, Control S this piece. And then what we can do to like kind of see what's going on is we can just make like a while loop. We're gonna end up making a while loop anyways. So, but before we get too deep into the dirt, well, I'm out here thinking it's C. Anyways, so, yo, why do you both orange? This is nasty. Anyways, so while true, just print out the coordinates so we can know that it's working. Okay, I'm not that stupid, Let's see, I guess we can print out like x plus, what is it called again? Input. Bang. The name is so like Simple. Yeah, I'm always forgetting it. Anyway, so of course we want a space y, and then another space, and then whoa, what's going on? Plus input, and we want 1. Ooh. Why? Oh, it has to be game, not input, because this is a static method. That's kind of annoying. But it's I'm just gonna leave it like that. I could have just made an instance method to make the static method called instance method. Would have done the same thing. But I don't feel like doing all that. So let's just go. So right now we probably shouldn't be, yeah, because we haven't clicked anywhere yet, but ooh, we clicked somewhere. Oh my gosh, ooh. Remember, this thing is like a 400 by 400, so over here should be like 0 or close to 0. Yeah, when I was clicking before, it wasn't inside. But yeah, so as you see, the numbers are like really small, because that's supposed to be, see, over here is 0, 0, and over here is like 400, 400, so you get like numbers near 400. Trying to see if I can click exactly 400. Can't. Closer. So whatever. If you want to do that, you can. There's no point. But now we know we're getting the coordinates, so that's all coolio. All right. So now that we got the whole like positions of the mouses and stuff, we want to make use of that input. So this is where I'm gonna introduce a concept called game state. I mean, I kind of weird as saying introduce a concept, because this concept of state, I mean, that's kind of a general concept that's probably known by everybody. But so our games are gonna be like an infinite loop and stuff, and it's like during certain, what was that? Oh my gosh, I'm scared, bro. I swear a ghost just came in. I don't know what happened. But anyways, so during the loop, we want the game to do certain things. That's during some things, during some certain conditions, and other things during other certain conditions. And that's going to be dictated by state. I mean, that's basically what a computer is fundamentally, a state machine. So we're going to build a state machine on a state machine. So that sounds fun. We're just going to use integers to represent game state. Honestly, it would be more professional to use like enums or enums or like some type of string that represents a number. But I'm not professional, so we're not going to do that. We're going to start the game state off at 0, because that's how it bees. So the rules for our game state is going to be, if it's a negative number, I'm just going to jot it down here. If it's a negative number, well, up there. If it's a negative number, game over. And at the moment, if it's 0, I guess we can call it norm execution. That definition is bound to change several times. And if it's 1, then we're basically waiting for input. Okay, so that's all cool and dandy. So since we just basically said that when it's whatever, the game is like still executing, we're gonna make this while loop that we made before. We're just gonna make it the game main loop, because I don't want to type while again. So main game loop, and our condition is going to be basically while the game state is not negative. So greater than or equal to 0, game state. I'm sorry, static method. I didn't mean to offend you.